We got an exciting show for you guys today. You have tuned in to Backer Pause, and you're going to be rewarded as I have a returning judge, a friend, and a great creator to introduce you to. But first, this is Backer Pause. Welcome to Backer Pause. What is Backer Pause? Our judges watch crowdfunding videos on air. When they lose interest in a video, for any reason, they hit pause and explain what caused them to experience backer pause. This is a fun way to teach creators about attention spans and what works and does not work for their videos. Videos featured from projects that are being advocated for on comicbookadvocates.com with permission. Want to be judged? Have a crowdfunding campaign you want to have on the show? Well, send us an email at comicsnewswire@yahoo.com, and that's comics, C-O-M-I-X. So who wants to play? And before anyone says anything, and that's usually me who says the wrong thing, the warning. Warning and disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this live feed are those of the guests, speakers, and or hosts, and do not necessarily reflect the beliefs, official policies, ethics, or positions of the content providers, advertisers, additional hosts, and or guests, hosting sites, groups, or entities attached to this programming. Viewer discretion is advised. All right, so let's get right into it. Let's meet Rob.
How you doing?
How do you say your last name? I always feel like I'm saying it wrong. Molitari?
Malteri.
Malteri. There we go. I knew I was getting it wrong. So you hear it and you don't remember? Because I know you're dyslexic. You're a fellow dyslexic. Do you have trouble with words sometimes?
I do. Names in general are because unless they're like a common name, those are the worst because I don't recognize them often. So I'm then in the same boat. Like if I don't hear it regularly enough to I can't read it. So, but yeah, I mean, in general, common words I've gotten a lot better with. If it's a longer word, then I kind of have to take a minute.
Now, you just launched today, like hours ago. Snow.
Yeah, about 8 this morning.
And this is it is tearing through the charts. It looks amazing. We're going to watch the video, as a matter of fact, right now. We're not even going to make anyone wait. We're going to jump right into it. This is the brand new video. And Look, I'm from Scottish heritage. You had me. You had me at Scottish. All right, let's check it out.
In 19th century Scotland, a fierce heroine with an adventurous spirit nearly gives in to the social expectations of her time. But a trite fairy tale ending is not meant to be as Cyrilla McKinley discovers her werewolf lineage. Her eyes are opened for the first time to the existence of supernatural beings and creatures of fantasy. Hi, I'm Robert A. Malteri, the creator and writer of Snowpaw and the hit series Nightwolf, as well as the founder of Lone Wolf Comics. Writing my new series Snowpaw, I wanted to tell a story about a strong female character who my daughter and other girls reading comic books can look up to as a great role model. In April of 2016, I launched a failed Kickstarter campaign for my first series Nightwolf. I didn't let that launch stop me, so I decided to raise the rest of the money on my own doing freelance web design jobs to pay the artists. After self-publishing the first few issues of Nightwolf, I came back to Kickstarter in October 2019. Since then, I've ran 4 successfully overfunded campaigns for Nightwolf issues 3, 4, 5, and the Volume 1 trade paperback that collects the first 4 issues. And that's all thanks to my amazing backers that I refer to as my Wolf Pack. Now, I stand ready to publish Snowpaw Issue 1, which is 100% complete and ready to send off to the printers. That's why I've come back to pay for the printing and the rewards that you will receive for backing this project. I'd like to personally thank you in advance for backing this project and joining the Wolfpack. I'm extremely grateful for where I am now as a self-publisher and continuing to serialize new comic books for you to enjoy. There's no risk in backing this project since Snowpaw #1 is 100% print ready. And again, thank you for taking this creative journey with me. I appreciate it so much. Aye, so what are you waiting for? Take this journey with me back to 19th century Scotland and join the Wolf Pack today.
I love the accent, by the way. Nailed it.
There's actually an even longer, that part I actually cut at that end. It would have kept going, but I kind of slipped on something. I was like, you know what? I like this cut, and I didn't want to do it again.
Trish says, hello, my friends. And she says, pack leader, how? And
Hey, Trish.
yeah, we want to give a shout out to Mike. Mike, today's Mike's birthday.
It is Mike's birthday. That's right.
Big supporter of comics.
And thank you, Trish and Mike. You guys have been, amazing for the indie community, especially for me. We all appreciate you guys, and Mike, have a great, happy birthday today.
All facts right there. Now, talk to me really quick. This is not the regular title, right? For those new to you, this is actually, would you call it a prequel? Does this tie directly into the other ones, or is this?
So I guess it would be a prequel, if you will. I mean, really. So Nightwolf. And when I was recording the video, you know how hard it was not to say creator of Nightwolf, because like I've been so used to saying that in all my videos. So, so with Snowpaw, you see her in modern day in Nightwolf. So that's like basically her present day is her future for this. So this goes back to her beginnings in 19th century Scotland, when before she realizes she was born a werewolf, and her family dynamic. The time was women were more along the lines of being there to be seen and not heard kind of a situation. It was before like the kind of like their revolution and getting and more in power and stuff like that. So for her, being a farm girl, she was betrothed to this kind of a rich clansman whose father is high in Parliament of the English, and basically that was kind of like where her life was heading, even though that's not what she wanted. She's headstrong, she's strong-willed, she wants to be an adventurer. And so it kind of just, this shows like that, and then how it that entire fairy tale life kind of gets ripped away, and she obviously having to deal with being a werewolf. And that gives 200 years between the events of Snowpaw and Nightwolf that I can play with.
I do love in the video that you mentioned giving your daughter a role model. We're going to talk more about that when we get back into this conversation. But we're going to just quickly move to some news that everyone needs to know, and then we're going to watch another video. If you guys aren't aware, this is pretty big stuff, and we're going to make it so you can see me and him. So we're going to start doing the videos. If you don't know already, this is some big news. There are supply chain issues all throughout the United States. This isn't just it's happening here or there. No, this is everywhere, and it's already beginning to affect Kickstarters and all the different crowdfunding situations, from paper goods to printing overseas to stickers. I'm being told even some of the add-ons are having trouble because there just isn't enough stuff coming in. No politics here, no comment on it. Just giving you guys all the information you need to know. If you're a backer, give your creators who you backed an extra 2 months now. That's what they're suggesting. 2 months past what they're saying. Every creator is obviously going to aim for it. I know, Rob, you had said that you're aiming for January fulfillment.
January, which hopefully will give me, past, because I'm planning on sending everything to print in November. I'm hoping to be able to fulfill in January, considering the situation.
Well, hopefully it gets better after the holidays, because that's the one thing I did hear in the news is that they're expecting a lot of this to shrink down, because in January, February, there's less shipping.
Right.
So let's hope we get back to normal by early next year. And Mike is joining us, by the way. He actually shared out your link there. So there we go.
We got the mic drop.
yeah. And you can find all these different campaigns at backerpaws.com, by the way, as well. All right. So we're going to move on to our first one. Do you know Jeff Ryder?
The name sounds familiar. I don't think I know him personally, though.
He's actually a friend of mine. Jeff Ryder presents the Arcane Cocktail Enthusiast. He won an award, and the awards are back this year, ladies and gentlemen. We've just begun the process of the Independent Creator Comic Awards, and I hope Rob joins us again this year. He has some definite stuff. I'd love to see him win some awards. We changed some things up. We added some more stuff, and you guys are going to have to check it out. Go to comicbookadvocates.com for more on that. And enough stalling. Here's our first video. Are you ready to be a judge again?
Let's do it.
All right. Oh, yeah, remember, raise your hand. I can see that no one else will be able to see. If you want to pause, just raise your hand. I'm cutting it off because the rest is just an ad. What did you think?
So I think it looks good. Personally, I felt like some of the text went by really fast. For somebody like me who's dyslexic, that's hard to catch. Like the 2-word ones were easier, but then it felt like it was speeding up, or it was just maybe it was me just trying to read it and I just couldn't. So I like everything looked great. The graphics were great. The motion, everything was smooth. Like I said, I think maybe like hold up a little bit on the text, or even like maybe some like do it or a voiceover or something. I felt like it was more advertising promo than talking to your backers. But no, I think it was good as far as like the graphics and the comic looks awesome.
I definitely think he's on the right track, and he's also the one behind the Sherlock and Watson that we did earlier this year. So definitely a great creator, and some great creators got together actually, and I'm pretty excited to announce this. I was part of panel 1. Now panel 2 has been released. You can get 2 free comic books by going to comicbookschool.com. This is the 8-page challenge, now successfully done 2 years in a row. I got to watch it be built this year as they did the theme of the time in. So that's pretty exciting. Now, getting together with other creators, you talked about the fact that you're working with someone new on this book, right?
I'm working with a lot of new people this one.
Yeah. Talk to me about that.
Completely different team. So for Nightwolf, I've been working with Carlos Herrera and Gat Melvin for that book. For this series, Carlos has been a little bit involved. Originally, I had thought to have him do it, but when I was focusing more on a female character, I wanted a female artist. So Carlos did do the character designs just because, Snowpaw, like doing the character designs for Nightwolf, like he knew the character and to get that done faster. So he did a lot of the character designs and then we from there I approached Mog Park and basically I asked her if she was interested, and she had bought Nightwolf off of me before, so I knew she enjoyed the series, and I had been following her art for a while, and it's been pretty good, considering it's amazing that like that's moved, been great, having her on board with that.
And you have a bunch of variant covers as well, if I'm not mistaken, with this one.
Oh yeah, definitely. So with the variant covers, as I usually do with all my books, I reach out to different artists to, I like to work with different artists for the variants too, just to kind of like get different styles and stuff. And then I also have like some of my favorites that I do continually, like Chris Williams. Carlos did this one for the book, and they've been pretty great. Bruna Costa is the colorist who takes Mog's illustrations and colors them beautifully. She's done a fantastic job doing that. And it's been great, working with I got Catherine Lobo, she does a great job, and Kyle Roberts, I got Ludovic Saleh, who is the artist and co-creator of Tart. He's done one, and like I said, Chris Williams. Like a lot of great covers here. I'm happy to have all of their art, and couldn't be happier. Also, again, I have to mention too that this is actually the first one. Usually, I do the lettering, like for Nightwolf. So this time around, I actually got Dave Lentz to do the lettering for the inside pages, and I'm very happy with how his lettering turned out.
Any reason why you switched out? Because your lettering wasn't bad.
I think time, and I wanted this book again. I wanted it to be I wanted it to feel different. So I didn't want it to be entirely similar. Like I wanted to have a similarity to Nightwolf, but I wanted them both to kind of live on their own merits. And I felt that between time and having a different style of lettering, I think worked to do that. Plus, like I was in the middle of fulfilling, my last campaign and everything while we were trying to wrap up this book. And, I just wanted to make sure that it was coming out and it was ready to go.
That makes total sense. I know for me, one of the goals I have at Continuum Comics is to never be a letterer in 2 years. Just as I have the skill doesn't mean I like doing it.
Right.
I prefer someone to do it for me. So I'm definitely looking to give up the lettering. I've lettered over 25 issues now.
Yeah.
Or 25. Like I'm good. I know how to do it. I'm okay with someone else doing it and me doing it. So I get that. 'Cause the more time we have, the more time we have to write and do the other stuff behind it. Now, as a favor to our good friend Trish, she asked me to show off this Fool's Gold into the belowing, whatever. I don't know. Wilds. Wow, I can't read today. Fifth edition. A fifth campaign. Oh, I got to start over. A fifth edition campaign setting based on the hit YouTube series Dingo Doodles and Felix Urchin. I have no idea, but it looks cool. I'm not a gamer. This isn't my reign, but for Trish, always happy to do a favor, giving a shout out. And I mean, they're barely making their goal. They've only raised $411,000. So if you could help them out, that'd be awesome. To hit their goal of $1 million, apparently, because they have 36 days to go.
I mean, yeah, it looks good. Yeah, but I'm not, as much as I haven't been into gaming. I mean, I did, like I said, Werewolf Apocalypse back in the day. But yeah, I mean, no, but it looks pretty cool. That design, that 3D layout of that character is amazing.
Trish is sorry. You couldn't have known. It was just a dyslexic moment. It got me. And she said, if someone needs help with stickers or buttons, willing to help. I stockpiled some paper products. Smart. You're going to be the only one who has paper in about a month.
Speaking of stickers and buttons, Trish did some fun buttons for me to take to my next Comic-Con. So I appreciate those. I did get that last set that you made for me. Here, let me get that.
All right. While he gets that quickly to show off, and we'll put him on the main screen, I will do our coming attractions. We have a coming attraction. Oh, go ahead, show it off.
Yeah, so this was a fun one. So she made these for me just for fun, but the serious ones though are these nice. Like she actually went and did all kinds of cool ones with wrapping them up and having the board and everything. In the back, so these are cool. These things are awesome.
That is really cool. It's always nice to have something that you can give to fans, put part of the packages, and of course, you have a library. And I know, for me, once I started to develop a library, you suddenly can pivot, you can make deals better, you can package things.
Mm-hmm.
So stickers, buttons, that always helps. It's harder with Kickstarters because buttons get you out of medium now. The minute you do a button, you can't do media mail. It's the only reason I don't do more buttons.
Yeah.
I'm a button fan, and I can tell you a little trick. I'm going to show you this real quick. So the way I do my free hugs and spanks button, I'm always wearing because it was ruining shirts for a while. I cut out the inside. You get a magnet. Anything you want, and you don't ruin any outfits.
That makes sense.
So, because I wear that button a lot, and I even wore it for over a year of going to the gym to see, will it hold, how will it go? Because I like to test the products I use as well. Because we're in this for long term. We like to know who makes quality stuff, who makes things that are going to fall apart. So, because 5 years from now, I can say I wore that for an entire year, and it came off me 3 times, and each time it was because I knocked into something, like a clumsy guy that I am. So.
Right.
Talk 3. I already filmed this. You can go to TikTok right now and see who I picked. And I'm not saying I'm part of a wolf pack. I'm not saying I'm not, but that might be part of the Talk 3. So check it out. It's on my TikTok. Do you TikTok, Rob?
I don't actually. My wife started to. She sends me TikToks all the time. With funny videos. I'm not sure. For me, I guess. It's not so much that I don't know what to do, I guess, as far as just entertainment purposes. But I feel like for me, it's taking the time to do something like that. Obviously, I would like to do towards this, right? And I guess I just haven't figured out how to incorporate that into what I'm doing. And plus, me filming myself is not my favorite thing to do.
I'll say this for TikTok. The one thing I like about it is I can fill parts of my day that I'm bored with my ADHD. Sometimes you have that 5 minutes at the supermarket. I got no shame. I film a TikTok in the middle of the supermarket while I'm waiting on a dumb line, or I'm hanging out with the family and they're looking at something. I'll pull out my phone and do a TikTok. It has become the ADHD controller, and instead of me like going down the rabbit hole of someone's post, like when you see a post and you're like, I shouldn't comment. I know I'm right, but I shouldn't comment. I no longer have those problems. I'm busy TikToking.
Right.
It helps me stay out of trouble.
Well, there you go.
All right. So now we're going to get on to our next campaign for today. And that campaign is going to be, let's see, we have Ben Lacey's Shark of War. And I know you know Ben.
Oh, yeah, I know Ben. I've backed this one.
Yeah, he's going to be in Georgia this weekend at the Calhoun Comic Con, by the way.
Oh, nice.
I like the pitch. I like it all. He hasn't fared very well at this program, and he's been nervous about it. But I got to give Ben some love and some credit. That guy's got energy and staying power.
Oh yeah, I mean he's definitely got the heart, and it's good to see that he's still going at it. Even though he's kind of got a slow start, but it's still he's got the passion, he's got the story. He just needs to get in the right hands.
Yeah, and here we go, Shark of War.
My name is Ben Lacey, and I hope you enjoyed that preview of issues 1 through 4 of Shark of War. If you haven't read Shark of War yet, I believe you'll really enjoy the exciting Jaws meets RoboCop story. And if you have read and liked the first 3 issues, I think you'll love issue 4 as our shark hero has recovered from his terrible injuries. He's been upgraded, he's stronger, he's faster, and he's packing bigger guns. Plus he's really pissed off. This is going to be a fun campaign. I have an awesome Jaws Death of Quint cover by Amanda Rachels, and a cool Shark of War Flying into Battle cover by Brian Dawson. I have a bunch of cool extras, like a new Shark of War keychain.
Bong! I can't. Not when I stop it as the host when you start going to the Home Shopping Network on your video. I'm sorry, I love you, Ben, but I told him too. I was like, don't be the Home Shopping Network on your video. Make a separate one for that. But besides that, what'd you think?
No, I thought it was good. I like the text was a lot easier to read. It gave enough time. It didn't fade out too soon, and definitely the theme music definitely went with the theme of the book. And I think and it's nice how he kind of incorporated both, like all 4 issues into it to reiterate that this is 1 through 4, and it's not just getting the next the next one.
Yeah, definitely cool. And something cool that'll be coming to everyone soon. I know everyone's excited about this. I am too. And I promise I'm not teasing everyone. I'm serious. Cat Dad and Supermom is coming out this fall. Later this fall, actually winter. We're probably going to be aiming for even the winter. During the holiday season, we're going to do Cat Dad and Supermom. Some of this was affected by the supply chain, believe it or not, because I don't like launching something. Of course, I am Bobby Gregory. Don't tell anyone. I'm Bobby Gregory as well. And because I was in Heroics, I didn't feel right until we fulfilled Heroics to go live with the new campaign. And while Bobby Gregory is the writer on Eclipse, like this, sometimes when we work on a project and it's not our own, we don't feel as responsible We want to be successful, but that's not really us. The creator is Mike Seeley. He's my partner. I'll help him every way I can, but it's not necessarily my project because Bobby was brought on to write it. I was brought on. Rob Anderson was brought on to letter it. And yeah, I'm going to develop split personalities, Rob. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But you don't want to launch. We talked about this. You want your book in people's hands before you launch your next campaign. So that's even why Eclipse has been delayed a little bit, because the supply chain issue affected our whole timetable. So this is a realistic, and the book's done. It's at the print shop. We're going to go pick it up, but we're still waiting. We're waiting on the cards now. So you can't win them all.
No, and you know what though? Sometimes too, like if you ask your audience if it's cool, like so with in my case with my trade paperback, with it being delayed, between the printing and the ports, I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to launch Nightwolf issue 5, and it would have pushed me back months. And so I polled my audience. I was like, hey, here's the situation, and I kept giving them updates and showing them redacted emails so that they weren't bombarding my my printer with questions and hate mail. Basically, saying, hey, we're going to be a little late. What do you want to do? Do you want me to wait, or do you want me to go live because issue 5 is ready, right? So they were all howling about, let's go, let's do this, issue 5. So we did it, and then the trade paperbacks came in right before issue 5 came in. And so I started it was like I had 2 projects that I just fulfilled like one after another this past summer. That was like my, July, August, and September. And, now here we are again. So now, thankfully, those 2 are out of the way, and I am completely fulfillment free and about to go back into fulfillment debt.
Yeah. Well, I think that to what you're saying, it's building the rapport with your audience, being able to ask them. Plus, I think if you put out a PDF, people see the book's done, and it's easier for them to understand.
Yeah, I mean, I had all the digital rewards out. I mean, long before like the physical rewards came, and that was primarily because of the shipping, and and as you can see behind me, a lot of those boxes that are holding the trades. I mean, there's a ton. I mean, that's. You can't see what's at my feet. That's a shelf full of
He's got a lot of cons to go to next year, is what he's telling us. So he'll be on the forecast every weekend. All right. So we're moving on to Nightfall, brought to us by Brett, and we're gonna check this out. This is a crossover of different companies. So you ready to play?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, what'd you think? I gotta say, every time I watch that, all I can think is Mumra.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. I said the villain in my head, the villain looks just like Mumra, and I mean, which is kind of cool from the '80s kid in me, but in the same sense, I was like, well, I mean, maybe there's something more to it that that meets the eye. But no, I think the book looks awesome. And it's definitely, there was a lot of great panels. The lettering looked pretty clear. I got the gist of everything that was going on. But again, I kind of like that personal touch with the voiceover, or even just like the video of the. I think that that's why, like with Ben's last one, like he had a kind of a half and half. I liked how he came in and talked to us a little bit. Where I feel like this would probably have been a little bit better with a little bit more of a personal touch rather than just a promo video, because you could see that anywhere on Facebook or I think when you're doing your project video, you want to talk to your audience.
Now, I want to talk to you about, and those are all great points, by the way, but I want to switch gears back onto your campaign and talk about, and we've talked about this in the past in the interviews we've had, where you talk about the importance of establishing both cover art and interior art that is respectful to women. And of course, you being a father, I know that weighs heavy on you. This is the first time correct me if I'm wrong, where you're writing a female character as the lead and really investing in it. How is that for you? Because I write female characters, and I've even been called out on it, saying, well, what makes me think I can write a female character?
Right.
Anyone who's read my books say, no, he's got it. So how did you go about that? Did you, because for me, I know I spoke to a lot of females and got their perspective and stuff like that.
Yeah. So for me, like writing Snowpaw, I have so for her, like I've loved writing her, creating her in Nightwolf, and she's been my favorite character throughout the series. And for this, I think I have two older sisters and I have a mom, and so like I have, I think that female experience, not so much that obviously I'm not personally experienced with it, but like obviously the fact that like I grew up with these three women in my life, and watching what they watch, because when you're the youngest, you don't always get to pick the TV, especially if you're of three. So so I grew up watching like the girl movies, like the Dirty Dancings and the Princess Brides and other Disney movies like the princesses and all that stuff. So I mean I remember even watching Rainbow Bright and Care Bears with my sisters, and Gem and the Holograms. I mean, so like it's My Little Pony, like all those things in the 80s. So it's not only where I was exposed to like Transformers, He-Man, Thundercats, all that. I had I soaked in a lot of different kind of media and stories and types and stuff like that. So I think too that being able to take all of those things in and having personal experiences, like I said, watching my sisters growing up and being the youngest and kind of observing like their relationships with people, and how watching them cry to my mom about heartbreaks and stuff like that. I got to see from that perspective of like the female psyche and not so much. I think that probably also is why I'm more so attuned to like not over womenizing things, besides having my daughter growing up, and I wanted to give her a strong role model, but like also the fact that like I am sensitive to that kind of a situation, and I think that's for me, like I'm also a hopeless romantic at heart. You know what I mean? So being able to kind of show a little bit of that in my stories and writing, whenever I write my characters, I also hear it in my head, kind of play out like a movie. Like I can visualize it. So that's the kind of stuff that like when I'm writing, it's like I'm hearing their voice, I'm visualizing it as a movie, but I'm putting it down into script. So that's kind of like that's basically how, like, I think for writing style, like how I get different character voices in these books. But writing to a female character, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't just my personal experience as well being shown, but I also, that's why I wanted to make sure I had a female editor, a female artist, and a female colorist to get their perspective to make sure that I was on the right track. And I'm sure Katrina Rhodes, who's my editor, can attest that she thought that I did a great job, and I hope that sticks true.
And I gotta say, and it's very easy in this comic book industry to take your character, put him naked on your cover, and make money. We all see it. We all know it's true. We know there are literal people out there making a living on it. I personally care about my characters and I have a character that would be very okay with because that character would lean into it. But the fact that people would look at her that way bothers me. I'm very protective over my female characters, and I think that comes from being a brother and really appreciating and respecting women. Do you find that you're also protective over the female characters, maybe even a little more than your male characters?
Yeah, I mean, I think I do have. I think it also depends on like whether they're a villain or not. Like some of, like for example, like with my teen witch, well, not teen, my witches who are twins. I'm a little less like I'm not as protective as them because that's their characters are a little bit more out there like that. You know what I mean?
They're extra, as the kids say. They're extra.
Yeah, they're extra. Whereas like with my, with Snowpaw being a purebred monokai werewolf, I wanted her to have more of that, like, to be more reserved. And I mean, I know like her modern battle suit's more torn up, so it's not so much that it's revealing as much as it's what she has left. But yeah, so I mean, that's in this. I wanted to show, especially with the time period. I didn't want to make it overly, sexy, and I wanted to make it, like I said, she's more reserved. She's more just like I wanted to show her personality through. I wanted to show the story, and like I said, I wanted for women, as a role model getting into comics or who already read comic books, kind of like Wonder Woman, but more clothes.
Well, that's a whole other conversation we'll get into one day. But Trish has some apparently some. I didn't even know this. I didn't even realize this. So I barely ever get to hit it. So we have some breaking news here. Apparently, that there's a lead that's been buried. Here we go. Let me know if this is right. One of the major points on Rob's Kickstarter is he's covering all shipping right now. He's one and few apart. Is this accurate? Is shipping free?
For U.S. backers, yes.
I was going to say I'm moving to England right now just to test it.
Yeah. No, it is. So it is. Shipping is free for U.S. backers. That way, I feel like it's also that way they see what the price is up front. Like, there's no like, oh, you back this and then you get another. Like that to me is one of like my least favorite parts of when I go to back something and then I find out, oh, there's another like $5 or $10 added to what, then you kind of get that sticker shock.
Yeah. I tried to do with the lower tiers, shipping included, just for that reason.
Yeah.
And then the higher tiers, we don't necessarily, because the one thing I hate about it, and I will say this, is you have that awkward moment where it's like, I really should be charging you $72 for this package. But now do I lose $2 or do I go to $75? Because you don't want to put awkward numbers.
Yeah.
From a retail point of view. But I credit you for that. That's bold initiative. That's why a lot of our campaigns now for the single issue, no all covers, you get the what we call table pricing almost. This is what it would cost to be at a table right now.
And that's kind of like what another thing too. If you see me in person, you're not going to pay for the shipping. You know what I mean? Like, or if you get it at a comic shop, you're not paying for the shipping. And shipping, can be, unfortunately, international shipping so much more expensive than it ever used to be. I mean, it just keeps climbing, and I really would love to do more for my international backers, but I kind of shaved a little bit. So like the amount that I took off for the US, I took off of the internationals. So it's not like I'm saying, oh, well, you're paying full price shipping for internationals. They are getting a little bit, taken off to kind of cover the difference. But, in the same sense, like I feel like if, it's nice that way, an extra feel for the backers, I think, too. Like I said, just to get that immediate, this is what the price is. You're not paying more for U.S. backing. And again, for domestics, it's a little bit better shipping than what it is now. I mean, I'm also kind of anticipating it going up more, but I'll cover that cost anyway.
Yeah, that's it for all creators watching. I'll tell you right now, and this is a good segue. When Eclipse goes to it, I've advised Mike to go to $6 for shipping. Now, remember, shipping includes the package, which we use Gemini mailers, and I know Rob does the same thing, and he's going to show it right now. When he gets back to his seat, we'll show you that too. So
yeah, I mean, these things, they're a must. Having like the Gemini mailers and putting everything in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this isn't even mine. This is actually another one that I backed, but it's using the Gemini, and I usually put mine also like in a bubble wrap envelope.
Yeah, I do the same. I do bubble wrap just then I tape it. Like anyone who gets my books are always very happy because I take it serious. Because I've had trust me, my mailman's ruined my mailbox shoving comics.
Oh yeah,
It damaged it. My thing no longer stands up straight because of comics, because of all that. One of the things that, oops, sorry about that. One of the things that silence your phones if you're going to host things. One of the things that I have to say that is cool about the eclipse thing is that this was a Hawaiian protector. When Mike Seeley came to me and said, "Do you know of a Hawaiian superhero?" I said, "What, like Magnum PI?" I had no frame of reference to talk about a superhero. So this is really cool, and I'm working on a project. I like working on projects I haven't created because someone else has to make the heavy calls. I can just blurt out what I think, and then he goes, "Go that way, don't go that way." It's like he's picking an adventure in my own mind while we're writing and creating together. It's great collaborating with Mike. I'm so proud of him. His book will be it'll be on Kickstarter by Halloween. As a matter of fact, I'll tell it to you this way: it's starting the last Monday of October. I won't say the date yet because I'm going to let him officially say the date, but I'm going to give you guys a hint. If you have a calendar, you can figure this hint out pretty easily. But that'll be it. The last Monday of October, you will see Eclipse. There'll be an Eclipse on Kickstarter. All right, so we're going to get on to our next campaign for Rob to use his gavel of pause. He hasn't paused yet, which is weird. I've actually paused more than he has on this show. Like that's just he's just nice. Rob's really just a nice guy. I always forget when I bring him on.
Well, I'm always like I want to see like the whole like you know what I mean. Like for me, like to pause and say stuff. Like I want to soak it in the moment. You know what I mean? Like if I don't get it in the first viewing, then there's something more wrong. You know what I mean? Like I don't typically pause the videos when I'm watching them, just because like I just let it go through, and if it doesn't catch me on the first try, I might give it a second if I was interested enough. But that's
that's a whole nother show. All right, so here we go. XCT Monsters.
G'day everybody, my name is Sean Keenan and I'm here today to talk to you about XCT Monsters. XCT Monsters is a graphic novel anthology within our award-winning comic series, The Extreme Champion Tournament. Written by 5 different writers including Michael Gordon, Stephen Koch, John Ward, and more, and illustrated by Paul Mason, Brad Van Geese, Alexander Malashev, and Alan Sands, just to name a few, and lettered by Stephen Koch. The anthology follows 6 different characters within the XCT universe as they battle for their freedom from Oscar Keenan, owner of the Extreme Champion Tournament. Facing trials and tribulations, each must decide whether to fight or die in the world's most brutal sport, the XCT. XCT Monsters is a fantasy epic wrapped in a bloody tale of heroes and monsters. If you enjoyed comics like Y the Last Man, 47 Ronin, 300, or movies like Hercules, Spartacus, and Clash of the Titans, stories where heroic deeds are earned, not given, then this is definitely the graphic novel for you. This is the very first printing of XCT Monsters, and we have some epic rewards for this campaign. It includes an exclusive drawing cover by the very talented Brad Van Geest, an exclusive variant cover by IDW and Dark Horse artist Megan Hung, and the complete XCT collection at a reduced cost, and loads more. Thanks for supporting the XCT Monsters Kickstarter, and we can't wait to show you more.
Honestly, I thought that was his best video to date. What'd you think?
I think I love his video editing. Like he's got his game down for sure. I backed several of his projects and I backed this one. And I think that I love the upfront. He's talking to you. He's giving you the information. The soundtrack for it goes well. It's not muffled or anything. It's not. I think in general. I think No, he's definitely got he's got his game going. He's good.
All right, and we have to talk before because we're running out of time. We're towards the end of this show, and we keep it to a strict hour. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was the future. So we've seen Snowpaw. This has come out. Is this a limited series? And what does this mean for the other title?
So the other title is still ongoing, Nightwolf. Matter of fact, Carlos has started working on issue 6, and I have 2 variant covers already done. And so that's in the yeah, Mike loves my witches. But yeah, Nightwolf is going to continue on. It's going to be an ongoing as well. So with Snowpaw, it's planned as a 4-part series with the ability to continue. So there is a story arc that ends at 4, whereas like with Nightwolf, the first story arc doesn't end until issue 12. And then there's kind of more, whereas like this is planned and there's the particular story that'll end at 4, but it lends to being open that if it's popular enough can be an ongoing series.
That makes sense. All right, we have to check out Alien 101. I think that you'll get a kick out of this. I know it made me giggle the first time I saw him explaining this to us. So here we go. This is on until the 21st. It's Alien 101. And Trish says, by the way, that she's raising her hand for you at home. As a matter of fact, she sent me a private message and said her hand's starting to hurt. Can I please pause the video? I said, I can't see you, Trish. I can't see you. We'll have Trish back on soon. She's vicious. She won't be on Super Mom around, I'll tell you that. She'll be on, I'll let her go on with Mike's video. This is Alien 101.
This is a video kind of going over Alien 101, Book 5. Alien 101 is an ongoing comic series I've been creating since 2016. It's about an alien in high school trying to understand what human love is. Based on my love life, so it's very awkward, but oddly charming. Yeah, the protagonist's name is Man. He's been tasked with giving a report on humanity at the end of his senior year. So the story starts at the beginning of his senior year. There's 2 main elements of Alien 101. There's 2 main plots that are going on. There's the one of Man is in love with his childhood friend, Brandy, who moved away last year, and is trying to get someone to teach him how to be in a relationship so that he can go to Brandy and express that, he knows how to do it and that it'll work out because he doesn't want to risk the friendship. So he's trying to figure that out. The other main character, side character, is a character named Terry, but she's pretty much a shadow cat. Shadow cat is a mythical creature for the story, but it's pretty much a magic user. She uses magic. But what she's trying to do is collect shadows from these different life forms so that she can do a thing. She's trying to do something with it. But anyway, she's trying to get Man Shadow, but couldn't get it because of complications. He doesn't have enough experience in life, so he's immune to her shadow powers. So she's trying to get him more experience so that she can then take his shadow. Terry pulling some shenanigans to get Man at his best friend's birthday party. He has a friend named Matthew. He's this big wrestler guy, and he's having a Halloween-themed birthday party. Terry has stolen shadows from a lot of the students in Man's class and is using them to her benefit. She's varying amounts of success. Man, on the other hand, is actually pretty fine. He doesn't like big groups. He's a little awkward, but he's there trying to mind his own business until his bully from middle school shows up. This bully always terrorized him, tortured him. It's this it's this cute little girl named Ajane. And yeah, she's a monster. Book 5 continues where that book left off. These books are 100 pages. They're black and white, manga style, and they're fun. They're nice little bite-sized chunks of the story. I plan on there being 10 books. We're on book 5 now, with book 6 coming out soon. But I did want to just go over a couple of highlights without hopefully not spoiling too much. I've boiled them down into a couple of keywords and phrases that don't mean anything to you now, but might spark your interest. Shadow candy, mind vaults and the etiquette around them, potty breaks, and the importance of cat calendars. So yeah, so that's some good stuff. All that's in book 5. and you'll have to read it to understand what the heck I'm even talking about. But it's a lot of fun. I love Alien 101. It's one of my favorite stories to work on. I like all my stories, really. That's really hard. That's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Hope you check out Alien 101, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.
What'd you think?
I think it went on too long. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it would have been, if he would have condensed it a little bit. There was a lot of it looked interesting. There was a lot of kind of
exposition that wasn't. Yeah,
it was more of a conversation. I think it was like a kind of like an interview or him telling a friend, which is good to do. But I think in these kind of situations, you have 2 minutes or less. I mean, probably 30 seconds, really, to nail somebody's attention. And
that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it all looked great. It just, again, and I think the soundtrack, it didn't start to like halfway through, or not halfway, but even partway through, and then it was a little too loud. I think he could have, dealt more on the equaling on that. Yeah,
I gotta give him credit though. It's very passionate.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. I mean, he is like that's what kept me going. I think is that he's very passionate about it. He likes it, and I did chuckle several times.
All right, so we're gonna try to sneak these in because I just realized the time. So we're gonna go to lightning rounds. We also want people you to tell people where they can find you at the very end. So let's get this video in. And I'm going to actually actively join Backer Pause, and I'll show you when I lose my interest how to get Rob off the hook, so I can, so he doesn't feel like the bad guy. I'm fine being the bad guy.
Ezek a fiúk nem viccelnek. Filmesek. Kicsinálnak, ha nem szerzek még több dohányt. Nem lesz egyszerű. Nézz szét, látsz itt producereket? Mert hogy valami mozgóképre kell a pénz, valami tudományos, fantasztikus filmre. Ráadásul itt játszódna a jó öreg új Budapesten. Építettek is már hozzá egy csomó makettet, vagy mit. Egyszer már csináltak egy ilyet, 10 éve. Arról a látnokról szólt, aki fotópapírba tudta égetni az álmait. Most azt folytatnák. Az előző film állítólag...
Now I'm going to let everyone continue to watch that. I pulled out of it because they do move too fastly for me to read it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like,
yeah,
like if there's like, I totally spaced just because one, I couldn't understand the language, and two, the reading, like I barely caught the full sentences each time. So it was like,
yeah, I had to watch it 3 times to get the thing. It's really cool though. I do suggest everyone go check it out.
It looked cool. I mean, it looked really like, in general, I just, it was, I don't know if he's, I'm not sure if he was trying to cater to the, or if he was just basically focusing in on his language or not, but I appreciate the subtitles, but he needed to hold them on a little bit more.
Yeah, and the funny thing is the entire Kickstarter is in English, which kind of threw me, because if you're going to make it in English, why not make the video in English or do a voice
right, right, yeah.
It is hard. For my dyslexia, I had to watch that 3 times. Really cool, though. I suggest...
Well, because I was trying to watch like the video and read at the same time, and it was just...
I have to pause it. I literally...
it was too hard to keep up with. I mean, I think it looked amazing, though.
All right, so the rest of this stuff, so we can get it in and under the wire. The awards are back. Go to Independent Comic Creator Awards on Facebook. It's where you're going to be doing the voting. There's even an info page, but go to our group to do voting. I do hope Rob shows up. He's got some great stuff that we can definitely want to showcase and talk about. And let's see, we have 2 more coming attractions. I want to make sure we talk about. The Blonde Assassin comic book is coming out soon. I don't have a date, but I'm told by the end of the month we can possibly see this. More werewolves for everybody. It's October. What else do you expect? But blood and fire as well, as Aaron's about to go live with the Samurai Tale. We will get to next week because we ran out of time this week, and we apologize for it, but we will get to, and it's doing fantastic. The Satanic coloring book, I played the video instead of the actual overlay. The Satanic coloring book, which is doing great. Jason Lennox. He's got some more time. We're going in November, so we still have plenty of time to have him on the show. So I wanted to make sure we got everyone on that was closer to ending. We'll see you next week. I wanted to give the rest of the show to Rob. We got about 3 minutes, Rob. Tell them where they can find you and give them that final elevator pitch on why they should back your book.
Yeah, so, if you like werewolves, fairies, demons, witches, all kinds of fantasy and supernatural mixed together in a time period piece of the 19th century in Scottish Highlands, check out Snowpaw. Again, it's a prequel to Nightwolf in a way that it's showing his mentors past, and that way we show the 200 years in between. Again, it's a strong female character for the girls out there, but also guys, don't let that deter you. She's a kick-ass chick, and there's a lot of action in the book, as well as they got the romance for the girls.
Just launched this morning, broke 152 backers, 4,000 in the bank. How you're not a project we love already is beyond me. You should have already hit it. If Kickstarter is listening, I'm disappointed. I've seen how you're putting out projects of loves to just about anything right now. This is a truly worthy project. I expect it by the end of the week, Kickstarter, or you're getting an email. So help me, I will type. And I won't use spell check. So where can they find you on social media?
Yeah, so you can find me at Lone Wolf Comics, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you want the quick link to this, you can go to lonewolfcomics.com/snowpaw, and then I'll redirect you to this page.
Now, Trish is telling us that Dustin's Greed is apparently live. Dustin didn't reach out to me. Tell Dustin to reach out. We're happy to have him on the program. I can't keep up with all my friends. There are only so many spaces I have on my T-Mobile top 5. Remember that? Where the 5 people you call and you never called anyone else.
Right, yeah.
She said, nope, hand raised, I am blind and don't speak Russian. I'm actually Ukrainian, and some of those words did not register with me at all. Like, it took me a while to realize it was Russian. I didn't realize how different.
I mean, it sounded Russian, but I wasn't sure because they were talking about Pakistan. I thought maybe it was something else.
I was like, is that Russian? I was like, okay. When she said that, I'm like, okay, I guess that's the Russian I've never heard before. And she said, nope. Oh, no, wait, we read that. She said, this one's funny. I love being the meanie yellow oaks in real life. I'm super nice. And she's honest. I got to give her credit. She puts money out on this. It's what we say at Continuum Comics. We'll never release anything that we wouldn't pay for ourselves. And I think if you have that mentality as a creator, because there are people who literally come to my table and like, I want to make this a comic. And I sometimes say no for even being on this show because I don't think a book's quality enough. Because trust me, people come back to me and go, Rob, that was on your show. This book is 16 pages. I'm like, I didn't know it was going to be 6. No one gives me a book. I don't get the product before we put it on the show, guys. Yeah. But there are certain things that just aren't ready. So as a creator, as a message to you, always put something out that you would pay for. Any final thoughts? We have about a minute.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. As a fan, you want to make sure that you're putting out stuff that you would be personally buying and, happy with. But yeah, no, hey, what are you waiting for? Join the Wolf Pack.
Right. I know I am. Let's get him Project We Love. And if you watch this at 9 p.m. tonight and got the whole time and wonder why we're not reading your comments and only Trish and Mike's, it's just recorded earlier in the day. So by now, he's got like $1 million in the bank and it's like 500 backers. Rob, always a pleasure having you on the show. I can't wait to have you back on and talk about the next chapter. I've been part of the Wolf Pack since the beginning. So nothing but respect.
I appreciate it.
We're out, guys. Make sure that you sign up for Eclipse, the pre-campaign, and back this man's project.